Hello, my dear viewers and dear learners who are in class 5. We are organize a program that's called Junaed's tutorial for free course only 5. It is only your self-development, English, science and global studies English version. Because if you are a English version student, you most of the time you think that English is a more difficult language than any other. But it's your wrong thing. The main thing is here you must think that English is only a language that express your mind setup, and your sentences that is more meaningful. So in your science book, you most of the time think that the most of the chapter are very difficult for you, but not it. Juna's tutorial is here. All subject is clear by it because we are here for you. Free course for class 5 for your self development, English, science, and global studies. We are given class of the three topics of the three specific subject. One is English, and two is science, and third one is global science, global studies. So now start that. Elementary science. Elementary science means the primary science. Primary science. What is primary science? If you are studies 1 to 5, all kinds of books are their cover page. They're written a short word that called elementary. Elementary means primary science. What is science? Science is a topic that related natural nature, most of the time environment. So now we are discuss your book. It is your book uh, of the cover page is on your mindset of that elementary science class 5. So I skip that 3 pages. Then we are read the contents or the contents. Contents means is topics. Content means topic, chapter. Chapter. What is chapter? Chapter is a group of some pages that says many kinds of knowledge is called contents. Chapter 1. Our environment. Environment. What is environment, sir? At first, you may know what is environment. Environment is a place where you instead and all around the thing is called environment. Environment is other name is nature, but nature is a faculty of environment. So now we are studying your chapter 1, our environment. Our environment. At first, I given a definition of environment. Environment is a place where your instant and all kinds of things is called all around the things is called environment. Environment of the other name is nature. What is nature, sir? In your mind, have a question. What is nature? Nature. Nature is a faculty of environment. So I don't repeat that. Now start the lesson. Chapter 1. Relationship between living and non-living things. Relationship between living and non-living things. At first you may know what is living and what is non-living. What is living and what is non-living. Living is a thing which have a life. Which have a life is called living thing. And a thing that can't have a life is called non-living thing. Our environment, all kinds of things are divided two categories. One is living thing, and on the other hand is another is non-living thing. All the thing in the environment means which things in our environment can be classified into living and non-living things. At first I will say that environment There are two kind of classification. One is living, one is living, and another is non-living. People, animal, and plants are living thing. At first, imagine, my dear learner, people. What is people? People who have a life. Man, you are man. You are a man. You are a boy. You are a girl. Is called people. Crowd of men is called people. So people have a life. So it is called living thing. Animal is called living thing. Plant tree. Plant means tree. Tree have a life. Don't imagine that. Don't imagination that. Tree have a life. I will describe that on the other page. Are living thing. Soil, water, air, chairs, cars, etc. Soil. Soil is a non-living thing. Because, sir, you may imagine that soil haven't a life. Water haven't life. Air haven't life. Car. Now you have a short question. Car. Car is running. So, sir, why you called it? It has no life. It is non-living things. Because people made it. Use it for their necessary work. Are non-living thing. Now we describe relationship between and non-living things. Summary. Human. Human means ki? Humans is man. Man. Human beings depend on non-living things. The main idea of this line is human, men, all are dependent non-living things. They needed air to breathe. Without breath, who have a life, they cannot live. They can't live. Water to drink. Without water, they cannot live. Because water give that a nutrition and food to get nutrition for several. They also use soil for growing crops and land to build their shelter. They also use soil. Soil is a kind of non-living thing. So in this line, we have see that it is the provement of human being is always dependent non-living thing. That is true. Yes. However, human being needs shelter, furniture, clothes, appliance, etc. to live. In the environment, human being depend on everywhere is non-living thing, other animals. On the other hand, other animals are also depend on non-living thing. Other animal also depend on non-living things for several. Animals animals needed air, water and food to live. If anyone asks a question that can you tell me some of non-living things, you also said that air, water, food. Air, water, food, and sun ray. Sun ray. They use soil and water as habitat. Some animals like insect or arthros live in soil. Some such as fish or prawns live in water. You may notice here that they are in a fish on the water, in the water. They are living here, and and some of the animal like mouse is living under of the soil. Plants. Plants. Plants depend on non-living things to service survive in their own environment. Plant, tree, they can't eat, but They make their food own to survive in their own environment, such as soil, water, air, etc. Plants also dependent on sunlight. Sunlight is called sun ray. Sun ray. Because you may know that if any kind of plant make of his food, she needed and it needed, there are four kinds of things: soil, water, air, and sun ray. The most important is water, air. Water, air. There are many faculties of air. One kind of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is needed for plant of their making food. So now discuss it on the other page. Plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide for the air to make their own food. Plants such as water lily. Water lily is a kind of flower. It can't live on the soil. It's always in the water. And water hyacinths also use water as habitat. Living things depend on non-living things for survival in the environment. All living and non-living things that exist and integrate in one place is called an ecosystem. Ecosystem means where you're living, all kinds of plants, all kinds of animals, all kinds of the non-living things is called ecosystem. So viewers, it is our short lecture. On the other hand, we will discuss on the other page in our next class. So if you are new my channel, please subscribe that and join the free course of Junaed's tutorial. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.